Please return your attention to the stage. Let's welcome our sixth contestant, Jillian Gibson. Jillian Gibson, a simple smile. A simple smile, Jillian Gibson.
A simple smile. A smile is defined as a universal facial expression formed by flexing the muscles at the sides of the mouth. Many of us take for granted that we can smile on a daily basis, but my identical twin sister doesn't. Because when she was just 18 years old, as a senior in high school, she was diagnosed with a condition that left half of her face paralyzed. It all started on that crisp autumn day. I can still feel the chill in the cool Colorado mountain air. The leaves crunched underneath us as we finished up our run. Ow, my neck, it feels really tense and tight, my sister said. Oh, I'm sure it's fine. It's probably just sore from the run. It'll work itself out, I said. But a few weeks later, she woke up with a rash in the exact same spot where she had felt pain a few days before. After a quick doctor's appointment, she was diagnosed with shingles. Shingles is a painful rash that forms blisters on one side of the body and attacks the nervous system. I remembered that a few weeks earlier, she had been diagnosed with mono, which is a condition that lowers the immune system and causes severe fatigue. I was starting to put the pieces of the puzzle together. Maybe she just needed to rest. But this was really hard for her to do because she was involved on the high school marching band, playing the saxophone. She was on the high school swim team. And of course, her social life was important. A few weeks later, she woke up from a nap on the couch, which was a pretty common occurrence for her. I noticed that half of her face was slightly drooped. She jokingly said, "I can't feel the left side of my face. It almost feels like I've had a stroke." But after a few hours later of no movement, we decided it wasn't a joke and called the doctor. "Go to the emergency room immediately," said the doctor. So after getting rushed to the hospital and missing a marching band practice, which she wasn't happy about, she was diagnosed with Bell's palsy. Bell's palsy is a rare complication from shingles that causes half of the face to be literally paralyzed. I was in complete shock. This was my identical twin sister. We had gone through everything together at this point in life. How could she be going through something that I didn't understand? Weeks went by, the paralysis continued to worsen, the muscles in the face atrophied, and the prognosis of her ever getting that smile back looked bleaker and bleaker. I'm afraid the only option for you now is to conduct brain surgery, said one of the many specialists that she had seen. And by doing brain surgery, you only have a 40% chance of getting your smile back, he said. But by not doing brain surgery, you have a 20% chance of getting that smile back. I looked over at my sister in the small, square, sterile room. Her eyes welled up as a single teardrop rolled down the left side of her face because she was unable to hold it in. There was nothing I could do for my sister. It was decided by our whole family that brain surgery simply wasn't an option. It was just too risky. So she decided to go to physical therapy to regain some of those muscles that she had lost in her face. All the while, in between those weekly appointments, she just kept showing up. She kept showing up to those marching band practices, even though now she couldn't even play the saxophone. She kept showing up to those swim team practices, even though now it was hard for her to breathe on one side of the face. And she kept showing up to school, even though she was at very least subjected to embarrassment. I was in such awe of the fact that she just never gave up. She would practice her facial exercises in the mirror every single night, as if this was a normal part of her high school routine. She was determined to get that smile back. Months later, she came charging down the stairs, screaming, telling everyone, "Look, look, get in the kitchen." She whistled. She whistled for the first time in months. And for the first time in months, I felt hope that she would fully recover. And you know what? Eventually, she did fully recover. That girl in this story is actually me. I wanted to tell this story from my twin sister's perspective because she was not only there for me every day, but I don't tell a whole lot of people, with the exception of you lovely strangers. I learned at such a young age that when going through something difficult, the only option is to just keep smiling.